Hello everyone, welcome again to another Narc Survivor live video. This is going to be a very interesting video because I will be referring to a video that I recently watched on YouTube, and it's from Talk TV, which is a YouTube channel in the UK, and it's talking about this misogyny epidemic that we have in the UK. If you don't know, I am currently traveling in Malaysia, but I am from the UK myself. I am from Wales, and yeah, there's an interesting video on the YouTube channel Talk TV talking about this misogyny epidemic, where there is now over 3,000 incidents of violence against women and girls. So that's obviously a staggering amount of incidents. And there's also an article in the Sun newspaper which is titled "Crime Epidemic Against Women and Girls Soars as Police record over 3,000 incidents of violence a day." So let's just think about that for a moment. 3,000 incidents of violence a day. And this is mostly against younger women. As it says in this article, an estimated 1 in 12 females across the UK become a victim every year. And considering that most of these targets are going to be younger females, then it's probably much more than that if we do just focus on the younger females. And this is just in the UK, although there is definitely an epidemic there, because there's this mass migration from Eastern Europe and Asia. So there's a lot of migrants coming from over there, and as it mentions in the video on Talk TV, they do have a different culture. So they treat women very differently in Eastern European and Asian countries. The Sun article also states that the figure is up 37% in 4 years. And the category now accounts for 1/5 of all recorded crime. And also a number of suspected victim suicides is increasing. And also I said that the statistic of 3,000 incidents of violence a day, where it's estimated that 1 in 12 females across the UK become a victim every year. Not only is that across all females, and it's not just focused on younger females, which are mainly being targeted, but also consider that these are incidents of violence, physical violence. So that does not include harassment. And even just the violence alone, 3,000 incidents a day, that's 1.2 million incidents a year of violence, not even including harassment, which I'm sure the figures are going to be much higher for that. And it is mainly the result of this mass migration from Eastern European countries and Asian countries. It is very sad to see that there's all of this violence now against women. But this is what it is. This is malignant narcissism. I'm not saying that all of the perpetrators are malignant narcissists, but they definitely have the traits. And I myself, of course, I am completely against violence, whether it's towards women, men, or children, and even animals as well. I am a vegan. But yeah, this is what's going on, just to make people aware, because this is a very big deal. I mean, 3,000 incidents of violence a day in the UK alone against women. And who knows how many millions of incidents there are a year for harassment against women in the UK. It does appear as though many of these incidents may be sexually charged. And I say that because there has been an increase in sexual assaults, sexual harassment, and even rape in the UK. And the perpetrators are often Eastern European or Asian. Because there is definitely a very different culture in this part of the world. It was maybe just a few weeks ago, I remember I saw an article of there was a gang rape in India. And it's not the first time that I've seen an article like that. It seems as though there are quite a lot of gang rapes in India, and just rapes in general. So yes, this is what's going on, and as you may know, I have been traveling around Asia myself over the past few years. And in the last year, I have been to where I am now in Malaysia, and also to Vietnam, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Japan. And I will say that there is a lot of control. I do see a lot of ownership and a lot of entitlement, where people do like to force things onto you, and they don't really care about what you want. It's more just about what they want for you. And I've seen this a lot with women. In many different countries around Asia that I've been to, I do get a lot of women following me around and harassing me. I have experienced that quite a lot, and I would say daily. Especially every time that I come back to my room, every time that I come back to my condo, I always get these women following me around, and trying to force themselves onto me. They're always like walking out in front of me or waving their arms around. And just doing anything they can to try and get my attention. And what I would say to that is, if someone likes you, if someone wants to be involved with you, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to go out of your way to try and get their attention. You don't have to force yourselves onto them. But it does seem that that's what I've been experiencing a lot in Asian countries. And quite possibly that may be the result of sexual abuse. Because as we know, the effects of sexual abuse, especially in childhood, is that the victim may become asexual, but also could become hypersexual. Which means that they may exhibit more forceful and seductive behavior. And that's what I've been seeing a lot. I'm not saying that that is definitely what it is, but it's a possibility. But yeah, a lot of this that we're seeing now in the UK, this is these are definitely traits of malignant narcissism. That's what that is. And that's what all of these incidents of violence against women are. These 3,000 incidents of violence a day against women and girls in the UK, which has been recorded by the police. And as I said, this doesn't include harassment. And also, if this is focused more on younger women, then it would be much more than just 1 in 12 females across the UK. So it's not nice to see this. It's not nice to see all of this violence. But this does go well for a video to speak about this and to go into detail about why narcissists want to harm you, why they must harm you, and the traits of malignant narcissism. So let's get into these traits. I've got a list of traits here. Of course, one main trait of and compassion for other people's experiences, needs and feelings. So when you're dealing with someone who must hurt you, it's because it's just all about them. They don't care about your separate experience. They don't care about what you want. They don't care about how their behavior makes you feel. None of that concerns them. It may not even cross their mind. And also, this may be quite interesting for some of you to know, but another trait of a malignant narcissist is paranoia. So they may be heavily influenced by anxiety, suspicion or fear. and often to the point of delusion, until where they become irrational. Because they perceive a threat towards themselves. And of course, when someone feels threatened, when they feel like they're under attack, then they're going to defend themselves. And that's what some malignant narcissists may be doing. They may be thinking they're defending themselves, but actually what they're doing is they are attacking. But yes, you will see that with a malignant narcissist is the paranoia. And some malignant narcissists may also have antisocial personality disorder, which again is that limited capacity for empathy, and where they just have this disregards and a violation of rights for other people. Malignant narcissists can also be very aggressive. So they want to oppose their victims. They want to attack them. They want to cause them harm. And sometimes this could be in reaction to something that you're saying or doing, but also it can be without provocation, because maybe they have certain triggers, and that could be something outside of you or something that you are unaware of. So when they feel challenged or threatened, they can then respond with aggression. And also they clearly have an inflated sense of self. And they believe they're more important than they actually are. Because they feel like that justifies it, as though that gives them a right to do what they do. Because in their minds they're very important, so they're allowed to do that. That's how they justify it. But then at the same time, they're also very insecure. And that's a big part of why they do what they do. And it's also why they may be hypersensitive to criticism, where just anything you say, it could even just be constructive feedback, that may trigger them into an episode of narcissistic rage, where they then lash out at you. Or if you're fortunate, they may just ignore you and give you the silent treatment. But what's interesting as well is that malignant narcissists, they also require excessive admiration. So they feel entitled to very unreasonable expectations of receiving special treatments or immediate responses to them. So it has to be all about them. Everything has to revolve around them. And then if it doesn't, of course, they get mad, they lash out. They require excessive praise and attention, because they have an inflated sense of self-worth and this need for admiration, and then also with a lack of empathy as well. They don't care about what you want. And also, malignant narcissists, they may also be sadistic. So they may be very cruel. They may have a desire to control people. And also with the sadism, they may actually enjoy hurting people. Sometimes it could be emotionally, but it can be causing physical pain as well. Another trait of a malignant narcissist is that they may have a tendency to lie. So they could be very manipulative and deceptive. And they do that because it makes them feel powerful. Of course, they will also be very exploitative. Where they may be envious of you. So they may become very arrogant, they may try to dominate conversations, they may expect special treatment from you. They will just demand the best of everything that you've got because they feel entitled to exploit you. They can be grandiose, where they have this sense of superiority, uniqueness, or where they think that they're invulnerable, they're untouchable. It's really just this exaggerated and unrealistic sense of their own importance. But really, that all comes from their low self-esteem. That's what causes them to act in the way that they do. That's what causes them to be so attention-seeking, because they're very insecure. They may also cause them to be very impulsive, but they may just do things without even thinking about it, without any self-reflection. And of course, even when they do something wrong, they will turn around and blame and shame you. And they may even gaslight you. They may intentionally lie and deceive you. And they may say that you're lying about what you've experienced, what they've done to you. They may just say that you're lying because you want attention. This is what malignant narcissists like to do. They want to hurt people because they are broken and hurt themselves. They're damaged people. And they are dysregulated. They have an inability to regulate their own emotions, so they have to hurt you in order for themselves to feel better. And I think that that's what we're seeing with a lot of these incidents, these 3,000 incidents of violence a day against women and girls in the UK. I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. But then also, as I mentioned, and as I've seen from other videos, is that this is sexually charged violence as well from Eastern European and Asian men. Where they come to the UK and they're attracted to young girls there. And I'm sure they're likely to be these young blonde British girls I'm sure that's what these Eastern European and Asian men are going over there for. And also because they may feel like the women over there are more free. So they may have this idea in their minds that by going over there, they're going to have an easier chance with women. But of course, what they then find is that, and as of course I already know myself because I'm from the UK. I was born in Wales. So as I already know myself, British girls are really not attracted to Eastern European men, and especially Asian men. They're not attracted to Asian men at all. So maybe these men, they go over there with this idea that they're going to meet British women and they're going to have sex with them. And of course, they see these young girls walking around, especially maybe after a night out. And as British girls do, they like to dress quite provocatively, especially at night. And I'm sure these men are left feeling very disappointed. And yet they came there with this sense of entitlement. So then they're left feeling enraged, which they then take out on the girls there. So that's what I believe is happening. And as I said, I am a British man myself. I was born in Wales, but also I am mixed race. So I'm half Asian as well. My dad is from Sri Lanka. But yes, I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's happening here. They come over to our country, they come over to the UK, and they're expecting something. They're expecting to get involved with these girls, and the girls are just not interested in them, quite clearly. And then that's why these men then become violent. But that's really no excuse for violence. It doesn't justify it at all. And I think these men, obviously, they will be punished for what they do. Some of them may go to prison. Others, they may get probation. It's really, it depends on the judge, or if there's a jury. And I'm sure, I trust that they will make the right decisions for them. Some of the men may even get deported. And I think that's fair enough, if they come to the UK and then they're violent against the women who are from there. Of course, that is completely unacceptable. If you want to live in a different country, you must respect their laws. You must respect their rules. Otherwise, why go there if you're not going to follow the law? So, yes, those men, they deserve to be punished. Of course they do. But also, what would I say to maybe these, because of course, there's going to be some Eastern European men and Asian men who are going to the UK, and maybe they're hoping to meet a nice girl. Maybe they want to date, or maybe it is just a sexual encounter, or it could be something more long-term, a relationship. But maybe they have an interest in British girls, and that's why they're going over there. And but it's more innocent. They're not looking to cause any harm. They're not looking to hurt anyone. To those men, I would say to figure out what it is that the girls there are attracted to, what it is that they want, what it is that they like in a man, and then try to adjust, try to assimilate, and then maybe they may like you more. Because you can't just go around to whatever country you want and just expect them to like you. You have to understand that different people, they have their own wants and needs. They have their own desires of what they look for in a partner. So I think that's something that needs to be understood by these men. And of course, the ones who are violent, they deserve to be punished for that. You can't just go around harming people and get away with it. And I'm sure that those men, the perpetrators of these 3,000 incidents of violence a day in the UK, I'm sure those men will be punished for that. Because I don't think they're going to be promoting this on Talk TV on YouTube, and also The Sun. I don't think they're going to be promoting it on there if they're not going to do anything about it. So I'm sure all of that will be resolved. And I did read in the article as well that they do recognize it as an epidemic, and they are doing what they can to make sure that that number greatly decreases in time, which is good to hear, because I myself, I am against violence. I do not agree with it. I am against it. But it does seem as though in society today, there is a lot of narcissism, and it does seem to be becoming malignant as well. So definitely, I think society needs to take control of it. We do need to step in and take action, do something about it before it gets even worse. Because I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say that this is not the direction that we want society to go in. We want it to be a safe place for our children. But yeah, even in my own experiences, traveling in Asia, the different countries that I've been to here, I have seen many women who have been quite aggressive in their approach towards me. And it's almost like they didn't even care about what I want. Like, they're very forceful. And it's like they can't even see that I'm very uncomfortable. From when they come very close to me and they're always trying to get my attention, they can't even see my discomfort in that. Which is very strange, because as many of you know, when I'm outside, I always wear shades and I've always got my earphones in. So it's quite interesting how they can't even see my discomfort. And yet they think I'm attracted, they think I'm interested in them. that's how it is, and I try to be as careful as I can, because if I'm not interested in someone, then I'm not interested in them. And of course, the more forceful they become, the more it just pushes me away. It just makes me not want to be involved with them even more. And I'm sure many of you experience that as well, where it's like when people come on to you, when they're harassing you, when they're like trying to force themselves onto you, it just pushes you away. It just makes you not want to be involved with them even more. It's much better when they give you space, when they give you time to think for yourself about what you want and whether you're interested in them or not. It's much better when they give you that space so that you can then decide for yourself, instead of it just all being about them and what they want from you. But unfortunately, that is how it is with a lot of people these days. It's all about what they want, and it's just not about you at all. So it's like, how can you even get to know someone? How can you even enjoy a connection with anyone? How can you have a genuine relationship if you're not even giving them the space to breathe, to even think for themselves, to get in touch with their own thoughts about whether they like you, whether they're interested in you or not? I just find that really sad. But unfortunately, yeah, that's how it is with a lot of people these days, and it seems that that's what a lot of women are experiencing now in the UK, with these men forcing themselves onto them, and maybe the women are rejecting them, pushing them away, and then that's when these men become violent. Although it's important to note as well that these crimes are mostly committed by Eastern European and Asian men, not by men who are from the UK. So it's foreign men coming over from Eastern European and Asian countries. They're the ones who are inflicting harm on these women. But yeah, that's my discussion there on malignant narcissism, and speaking on the article, and also giving you the traits of what to look for to know. But then, if someone's trying to harm you, that's all you really need to know. You don't need to know if they're a narcissist or a malignant narcissist. That doesn't matter. As long as you know that they're trying to harm you, that's enough for you to know, to then take action and make the decisions to protect yourself. But I'd like to hear from you as well. Let me know in the live chat down below. Let me know what you think about this article here. This crime epidemic in the UK, where police have recorded over 3,000 incidents of violence a day. And of course, that's just the violence. It doesn't include harassment as well. And then also, it says an estimated 1 in 12 females across the UK become a victim every year in the epidemic. And that's females. This is mostly targeted against younger females. So I'm sure that number will be a lot higher, considering that. So let me know in the live chat what you think about this. What do you think should be done to protect these women? And why do you think these men are doing this? Let me know in the live chat down below and I will read it out. Let me know if you have any questions as well. I will try to maneuver around all of the trolls that are coming in now as well. It's that time in the video when they like to show up. Divine Fire says it's all over, not just the UK. I haven't seen the statistics for other countries, but I do know that there is a lot of violence against women in Asian countries as well. And also, there's a lot of rape, sexual assaults. But yes, it's really become an epidemic in the UK. So if you have any questions, let me know in the live chat down below. I will read it out and respond. But yeah, as it says in this article here, the domestic violence minister, Jess Phillips, said that the new government's mission in the UK is now to halve violence against women and girls within a decade. So that means that it will take some time for them to deal with this. I mean, to halve the violence within a decade. A decade, that's 10 years, so it's still quite a long time. It seems like the trolls have really taken over in this live chat today. Just silly questions. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it helps to make you aware of what's going on in the world today, especially in the UK, and how violence against women is actually getting a lot worse. And also, I hope it was helpful how I outlined the traits of a malignant narcissist as well. So I hope you got something from that. And if you did, if you found this video helpful, you can give it a thumbs up down below. I really appreciate it, as it will help to support the channel. Also hit the subscribe button and click all notifications so that you will be notified when I go live in the future. You can also show your support by making a donation. I appreciate all donations, no matter how small. You could donate to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/Narc Survivor. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. If you'd like to book a one-on-one coaching session with me, just go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. Also, check out my Instagram. I've been posting my reels from my trip last year to Sri Lanka. You can see all of that on there. Follow me. It's Narc Survivor YouTube on Instagram. Thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to speaking with you in another live video very soon.